The film begins deep in the jungles of Brazil. We meet Anna, who's on a mission she's determined to complete. Her partner warns her not to go because it's too dangerous out there. But Anna refuses to listen. She gets on her bike and heads out to finish her mission anyway. Meanwhile, we see two men secretly watching her from a distance. They plan to capture her by taking the river route. But before they can reach her, one of the men gets attacked. A massive anaconda leaps out of the water and drags him under. Right after that, the scene cuts to California, where we meet Doug, a film director pitching his new movie idea. In his story, a couple fights a monster creature, and the girl brutally kills it to survive. But the people listening are unimpressed. It turns out Doug is actually just a wedding videographer, not a Hollywood director. The couple doesn't want an action movie. They just want a sweet wedding video. Doug clearly dreams of directing real creature action films, but his dream remains unfulfilled. Next, we meet Ronald, a struggling Hollywood actor. He's trying to film a small role as a doctor, but keeps messing up every take. Eventually, the director fires him. On his way out of the studio, Ronald sees a poster of a new Anaconda movie, a continuation after the 1997 classic. A few days later, we're at Doug's surprise birthday party. All his childhood friends show up, including Ronald. Back then, the four of them, Doug, Ronald, Kenny, and Clary, used to make short films together. Now, Doug and Ronald are still struggling, but Kenny and Clary have become successful. Still, being together feels just like old times. Ronald surprises everyone by playing one of their old high school movies that Doug directed. In that film, Ronald was the hero, fighting a monster played by Kenny. The movie ends with Ronald shooting the creature to save his friends. A heroic, happy ending. Everyone laughs and enjoys watching their past creation. Then Ronald reveals his big surprise. He's acquired the copyrights for an Anaconda novel from the Anaconda series, which had already inspired several famous films. Since all four were die-hard fans of the franchise, Ronald suggests they make their own low-budget Anaconda movie. Everyone loves the idea, but there's a problem. After buying the rights, Ronald has no money left to produce it. He suggests they all take a loan together and make it happen. Doug hesitates because he has a family to support and can't risk financial trouble. He declines politely, but later, when he sees his son watching their old movie, the boy says, "Dad, you're an amazing director. Why don't you make another film?" Even Doug's wife encourages him to follow his passion. After giving it some thought, Doug decides to join the project. The group starts planning. They secure a bank loan and decide to fly to Brazil to shoot in real jungle locations. For the film, they need a snake that looks like an anaconda, or better, a real one. Kenny uses his connections and brings in a man known for handling snakes. He arrives with a terrifyingly large snake that looks almost identical to an anaconda. Ronald freaks out, since he's supposed to fight it as the hero. The snake handler laughs and explains it's not poisonous and, in fact, not a real anaconda at all. The real ones live deeper in the jungle. Relieved, Ronald agrees to film with it. Then, we cut back to Anna, the same woman from the start of the movie. She's still being hunted by those men. She hides in a bar, but realizes her pursuer found her again. Anna steals the keys to a yacht and escapes. Coincidentally, that yacht happens to belong to Doug and his crew. They rented it for their film shoot in Brazil. Anna lies to them, pretending to be their driver to avoid suspicion. They store their snake crate on the yacht, but while moving it, the box cracks open. After reaching the destination, the group starts filming in the jungle. Ronald and Clary perform their scenes, and everything seems fine until night falls. While sleeping, Ronald hears something crawling nearby. When he turns his head, there's the gigantic snake from before, right beside his bed. He screams, waking everyone up. It turns out the snake just escaped its cage. It wasn't the real anaconda. The snake handler apologizes, promising it won't happen again. The next morning, Ronald has to film a scene where he grabs the snake with his bare hands while delivering lines to Clary. But Ronald freezes in fear again and accidentally throws the snake into the water, where it's killed by the boat's propeller. Everyone feels awful. They cremate the dead snake that night and pray for its afterlife. Meanwhile, Anna's enemies track her down again, but before they can attack, a real anaconda emerges from the water and kills one of them, wrapping tightly around his body. Back on the yacht, Ronald confides in the Snake Man that he's a failed actor who never even got decent side roles. That's why making this film meant everything to him. The Snake Man, moved by his honesty, promises to help. He'll catch a real anaconda that very night and safely extract its venom so they can use it in the film. But when he goes into the jungle, he never returns. The real anaconda attacks, wrapping his body and killing him instantly. By morning, Ronald grows anxious and tells everyone their snake wrangler has gone missing. The group decides to search for him themselves. They've taken huge loans and need to finish the film, no matter what. They head into the jungle with Anna. Deep inside, they find a truck and hear rustling. A giant snake is nearby. They hide in the truck, terrified. Suddenly, the dead body of their missing crewmate slams against the window, covered in blood. Moments later, the enormous anaconda appears. They try to drive away, but the truck won't start. Doug bravely steps out to fix it, almost getting attacked by the snake, but his friends pull him back inside just in time. Then, the mafia men, chasing Anna, arrive and open fire. Anna reveals to everyone that she used to be part of an illegal gold mining operation, and these men are after her. She picks up a gun and shoots back with deadly precision. Her combat skills stun Doug. They barely make it back to the yacht, but the mafia leader follows and holds all 4 friends at gunpoint. Anna knocks him out just in time. She urges the group to leave immediately for their safety. But Doug and Ronald refuse. They can't go home without completing their film. Anna reluctantly agrees to stay. That night, Doug rewrites his script and makes Anna the lead, giving her most of the action scenes. He tells the group that movies with strong female leads often get Oscar nominations. Ronald and Clary feel overshadowed, but Doug insists, saying it's for the film's success. Then, the shocking truth emerges. They spot another massive Hollywood production ship nearby, with big actors shooting an official Anaconda film. That's when the group learns Ronald never owned the rights. They belonged to Sony Pictures. Their entire movie was based on a lie. Doug, Kenny, and Clary feel betrayed, but Ronald argues that his lie gave them a purpose. It made them chase their dreams. Still, tensions explode. Ronald storms off, deciding to join the real Sony crew instead. But when he reaches their ship, he finds chaos. The entire crew is dead and the ship destroyed. Before he can understand what happened, an assistant director waves at him for help. Suddenly, a giant anaconda leaps out of nowhere and devours her instantly. Shocked, Ronald flees back to warn his friends. Meanwhile, Anna turns on the others. She reveals she's actually forcing them to mine gold for her. Then, the same police officer who's been tracking her arrives. Ronald, unaware of who's who, accidentally shoots the cop, and Anna finishes him off. But before she can escape, the anaconda strikes again from the water, swallowing Anna whole. The remaining 3, Doug, Clary, and Kenny, are horrified. While trying to run through the forest, Doug gets attacked. The snake grabs him and drags him away, killing him brutally. Devastated, the others decide to use Doug's body as bait to lure the snake away so they can escape. They hang his body like a scarecrow, placing a pig carcass on top to attract the anaconda. But things take a terrifying twist. The pig is actually alive, and Doug is still breathing. The snake appears again, and chaos erupts. Doug tries to defend himself, but gets cornered. He throws the pig at the anaconda, which gives him and the others a split second to run. They stumble upon the Sony film set, wired with explosives meant to kill the anaconda in their movie scene. A surviving actor tells them to find the detonator if they want to kill the creature. He leaves to find his teammates, while the friends locate the detonator device. They lure the real snake back toward the set using a jeep, but the blasts don't work. The anaconda survives every explosion. As it charges toward them, Ronald remembers his childhood movie line, "As long as I'm alive, no one hurts my friends." He aims his gun and fires at a gas cylinder, causing a massive explosion that rips the anaconda apart. The survivors finally escape. In the post-credits, it's revealed that everything they filmed in the jungle was turned into a real movie by Doug. It became a blockbuster hit, earning them both fame and fortune. Ronald and Clary decide to get married, even doing a pre-wedding shoot in Doug's favorite alien action thriller style. Doug, now a respected director, gets approached by a real Sony producer who jokingly tells him he made a movie without official rights. But instead of suing, she offers him the chance to direct the next official Anaconda film. Overwhelmed with happiness, Doug faints, and the movie ends right there.